Got a question for you. Have you ever shaken up a can of Coke? And I used to do this a lot when I was younger, trying to get people. Shake up a can of Coke to watch somebody open it so it'll spray all over them, right? I know you've done it. Y'all go ahead and, like it or whatever if you've done this, but think about it. You shook up a can of Coke, you set it down for somebody else to open up so it would spray all over them. Now, I'll tell you this. If that would have happened to me, I probably wouldn't have been too happy, right? But I was willing to do it to other people, okay? So that pressure that's in that can when you shake it, I mean, that can get somewhat hard, and you set it down for somebody to open it, and it sprays all over them. First of all, Coke's sticky. Any soft drink, anything like that, it's real sticky if it's carbonated. Most time it's full of sugar and that good stuff. But when you shake that can up, it puts a lot of pressure in that can with that carbonation, and it'll explode everywhere, right? Well, the same thing could happen also if you leave, like during the summer months, you could leave out some Coke in a can in the trunk of your car, whatever, it could explode there too and make somewhat a mess. So what happens is the pressure inside that can builds up to where it has nowhere else to go, so it explodes, okay? The difference in the trunk versus somebody opening it is there's actually somebody releasing the pressure for it to come up. Right? In the trunk, it just sits in there until it builds up, okay? Same thing could happen in a different way if you leave a can of Coke in the freezer. It works a little bit differently, but it could still explode. So I'm going somewhere with this, and I hope you catch on to some of my analogies, because a lot of times I try to put life lessons in these. Much like the pressure building up in that Coke, it really explodes, and it could hurt somebody or get somebody nasty and sticky if they open it, right? Well, what happens to us whenever we let things build up in us, and we get all kinds of things on us, we get all this pressure put on us, and sometimes it's pressure we put on ourselves, and we don't let it out. What happens is it eventually explodes on somebody, ends up hurting somebody, or we could hurt ourselves, okay? I do it more than I like to. I let things build up in my mind and inside me that I don't talk about, I don't let out. And eventually what happens, whoever the nearest person is at that point in time when it comes out, it's directed at them. I don't mean anything by it, but that's no excuse. So here's my point. Before you let all that stuff build up in you, because I know a lot of times in commission sales, it's tough. You let things get on you and weigh you down. But before you let all that stuff get up on you, build all that pressure up before it spews out in anger or hate towards somebody, talk to somebody. Find somebody that you can talk to. You may not have a real close friend or relative that you can talk to about some things, but reach out to somebody with some stature, somebody that's going to tell you the truth, because sometimes family members and friends don't tell you the truth. They tell you what you want to hear, and that's not always the best thing. But the point is if that can of Coke is shaking on you, I always do this. I open it slowly to let some of that pressure out slowly, because if I open it up too fast, it explodes on me. Same way in life, okay? You can talk to somebody and let that pressure out little by little, and when it does, if it does explode, it's not as bad. What's up, Nick? That pressure's not as bad. If you don't talk it out and you don't write things down or whatever, how you let out pressure, playing basketball, lifting weights, if you don't let that out, eventually it comes out, and it usually is directed at somebody else in anger, okay? It could even hurt yourself. I mean, you could hurt yourself with this anger. So before you let that pressure build up, find somebody to talk to. Find a mentor. Find somebody that you can confide in that's going to listen to you. Like I said, you don't always want people telling you what you want to hear, because oftentimes we do things that's just stupid, and we need somebody to tell us that. But I'm guilty of it. I'll tell you right now, I'm guilty of it. I let stuff build up on me, and it's just that one little fuse, that one little thing that just starts that fire, and all of a sudden my mouth outruns my mind. I just start saying things in anger that I don't mean, and I definitely don't want to do that, and I don't want you doing that. So today, think about what I said. Use that analogy, okay? Use that analogy, because oftentimes we get angry, but it's because we let things build up in us, and then it just explodes on somebody, much like that Coke can if you shake it enough. What's up, Chris Campbell? Y'all see what I'm saying? So you're going out today, and if you got something weighing on your mind, weighing on your heart, and it's to the point where it's dragging you down, find somebody to talk to and let it out, too, before you explode and blow up on somebody. Because I know I've done it. I know many of you have done it, and it's not fun, because guess what ends up happening? you end up having to go back and apologize, and they may or may not accept your apology depending on how mean you were to them, okay? So take that with you today. I hope it helps somebody, because at the end of the day, we gotta live this life with a bunch of other people. And if you're constantly blowing up on people because you got stuff weighing you down, maybe the problem's you and not them. So y'all take that with you today. Hope everybody has a fantastic day and a great week. It's gonna be hot. It may rain this week, but you know what? We're gonna still do business. The Fist Pump Guy, selling cars the right way, because it's the only way I know. Follow the Fist Pumped Enterprise.